All right, turning up to the Middle East now, where President Trump is urging Israel's president, that's Isaac Herzog, to pardon Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We have this letter to show you, shared by Herzog's office. In it, President Trump calls the case against Netanyahu politically unjustified. The Israeli Prime Minister has been facing a long-running corruption trial. Netanyahu denies the charges against him and has pleaded not guilty. CBS News Middle East reporter Courtney Kealy joins us from our DC bureau to speak about this. Courtney, good morning to you. What more can you tell us about the challenges facing the Israeli Prime Minister? You and I have spoken for a couple of years by now, noting that while internationally he gets plenty of support, but domestically he's had some weights around him. So what headwinds does he face?
Well, this has been about 5 years running, this trial, and it's about $200,000 in bribes from businessmen. So it's about corruption and bribes, and it really is. It speaks to the Israeli courts trying to make sure that the Israeli Prime Minister is above board and honest, and they're saying that he has not been. And then you have President Trump multiple times. I mean, Errol, you and I were on the desk while he was speaking to Knesset when he turned to the Israeli president and said, why not a pardon for Netanyahu? And now we're seeing this letter. So President Trump is really leading the charge here in terms of pardons. He's had his own pardons recently, and he seems to think that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu deserves one as well. Of course, he has no say over any Israeli law.
And more immediately, what of the ceasefire and the end of what could be the first phase? We know that hostages have been released, remains have been released, Palestinian prisoners have been released. But what are the main obstacles into getting to step two?
There are two sticking points. Israel wants Hamas to disarm. Hamas doesn't want to disarm. And Israel does not want the Palestinian Authority involved in any kind of governance in the future. And the Palestinian Authority is a governing body, and they do control parts of the West Bank. So those are the sticking points. Now, Hamas has kind of shown two sides to the center here. They have 7,000 fighters deployed in this autonomous area in Gaza. That's problematic. They also have a group of about 200 Hamas fighters stuck in a tunnel in the southern city of Rafah, seeking safe passage. And that is a sticking point, threatening the fragile ceasefire. Many things have tested it. Now phase two is it doesn't really have a timeline. It's more about a UN mandate, the UN Security Council agreeing to this U.S. proposal that would get these stabilization and security forces inside Gaza.
Right, and those stabilization forces are a key piece of the next step. Courtney Kealy with the latest for us from our DC bureau. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.